Hey, what's up, fam?
What's up, KCL fam?
I
How's
see you,
everyone
John
doing?
Ford, Maggie DeShazer already gave $5. Thank you, Maggie.
Thanks,
And
Maggie,
then,
popping it off.
then
Appreciate you. Hey,
yeah,
Danny.
and Danny is in the house.
Yes,
Hello,
she
Danny. How's it going? Good to see you guys. Yeah, this is the night. So after tonight, I'm gonna be gone.
is. Passing it over. Don't let me
Yes,
sub.
ma'am. So you're putting it in the capable hands of my daughter.
Thank
Hell up
you.
on it.
Thank you very much. Looking forward
So
to it.
yeah. So most definitely. All
Excited for
right.
you.
I
What's
am.
up,
I am.
LA?
All right. LA, what's happening?
She said,
Mello, hello. So good to see you guys.
yes.
Good to see you guys. All right. So we are here tonight, and I'm your host, Reginald Kuakaru, co-host, I should say, and I'm the founder of Kemetic Centered Living. And I like to say that here at Kemetic Centered Living, I like to answer the questions that Mama and them said, you can't ask God. Well, Mama, I ain't asking God. I'm asking you. But we answer those questions. So all those questions that you had, and even ones you didn't think you had, we answer here at Kemetic Center Living. So I like to say that I when I answer those questions, the next question is, well, what do I do next after I leave Christianity? And we answer that question too. So you move on to the next steps and next processes. So that's what it's about. But the whole idea is so you can live life boldly, authentically, unapologetically, and on your terms without guilt or shame. All right.
Yes, indeed. Yes,
All
indeed. And
right.
I am Voy-Shay, the other half of this co-host situation. And my speciality is astrology, numerology, tarot, and just metaphysics in general. So I help those who are on their path to self-discovery find their individual blueprint. Okay, so we're all sitting here with a plan, a divine plan that our higher self has already set out. And I love to help people decipher those via their birth chart, via their numerology chart, and via interpreting the messages of spirit through tarot. So happy to be here with you guys tonight.
All right. All
Hey,
right.
Cynthia. And so off top, I want
Right.
to thank Cynthia for her Cash App donation this week. She brightened my week with that $50 donation that I received
All
randomly.
right.
So
And
thanks,
she was ringing my bell with $25 last week too. So
Shout out to
Cynthia, you
Cynthia.
own it.
Shout
So
out
thank
to
you, Cynthia.
Cynthia.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I wanted to also thank Charles Dorsey, who gave $50. And then Nelquan Jones gave 20 and James Reed 963. So all of you guys, thank you. And Melissa. So Melissa Landry, 333. So thank all you guys.
Yes,
I
yes.
love to see
Welcome,
those.
Dark
Love to see
Goddess, our
those.
moderator in the house.
All right. Dark Goddess is here. She is here.
Hey,
What's
Rawlicious.
happening? It's Rawlicious. What's up, Adrian? Good to see you. Good to see you. And Chai's room. I see you. I'll be seeing you in that chat in the comments, Chai. Good to see you in the chat room here. And Thomas Ramirez, I see you. What's going on? Says Thomas says, Red says, I love your channel, bro. I've been reading about the people from ancient Kemet, and before they talked about Osiris and Isis, and they talked about the Shinsu Hor and the Shining Ones. Yep. Any info on that? Well, I hadn't studied necessarily on the Shimsu Hor, so the groups or what they were calling themselves. So I don't have anything on that necessarily, Thomas. So I get more into the metaphysics of it. So I'm connecting the dots with the metaphysics and then connecting those dots from the metaphysics to the Bible and how that stuff shows up in the Bible. So, and the whole idea is to help people that have been Christian understand a lot of this stuff is really not strange. It's just really tweaking some ideas a lot of times that we've been taught in Christianity. So that's what it's about for me. Most definitely. All right.
Thanks, Rawlicious. for
All
promising to
right.
come with us. Much appreciated.
Most definitely. Most definitely. And I see you, Ruben. I see you, brother. So Ruben's
Hey,
in the
Shauna.
house. So and Shauna A. So all of y'all are here. All of y'all are here. All right. So yeah. So Thomas got it started off with the good questions tonight. So anybody else, any questions that we have? So we'd love to answer for you. So I like to always say that we do our best to answer the questions. We study a lot of different things. We don't know it all. So if we don't know it, we'll say, I don't know. You know? So that's it. That's it. We know something. We'll talk to you. We'll talk to you. All right. Mother, what's up? I see you in the house. Been doing big things this week. Been doing big things.
Yes.
So,
hey, Antonio Snow. I'm back. Thank you. Thank you. What's been going on with y'all in these eclipse seasons? Anybody been purging some things or having some really prominent lessons come up and surface? Has anybody been faced with triggers they're having to dispel? What's been y'all's experience this eclipse season? Talk to me. All right, Nat.
All right, Nat A. Nat A, how you doing, Nat A? You out of that hospital? So good to see you, Nat A. And I see you, Michael Peaks, Ancient of Days. What's happening, family? Good
Michael
to see you.
sent me a blessing this week too. So thanks,
All
Michael.
All right. Most definitely.
Hey,
guys be thinking about us. Even when the cameras are off, they be thinking about us. Man, that is so nice. That is so nice. Definitely appreciate it.
Right? Much appreciated.
Let's see. The man says, what's the esoteric meaning behind the 7 churches in the Bible? The 7 churches? I'm not familiar with the 7 churches on that. The man, so not that, hadn't heard that. Hadn't heard that one. So what's up, D? Good to see you. Good to see you. All right. Let's see. Dark Goddess says she have a question on the FBI shutting down the observatory in Hawaii and NASA and the big ship over the observatory last Saturday. I hadn't even heard about that. So I rarely ever watch the news. Rarely. So
same.
Yeah. So so that's not one I heard of. Let's see. Danny H says I've been struggling during the eclipse, especially since my Mars is in Scorpio. All right.
Oh, you really been experiencing some triggers, huh? Having to let some things go, reclaiming your power. Let's see.
I see Pamela Burke gave $5 on Cash App. Thank you, Pamela. Definitely appreciate you.
Yeah. Chief Scorpion says, I've been open to a lot of energy shifts and spiritual downloads around me. Wonderful, because that's exactly what this time has been about. Releasing, it's just what eclipses are an opportunity to release what no longer serves you and incorporate the new. So we're always doing that, but eclipses make the energy more potent. It gives you like a stronger leap. It's like a propelling feeling. If you rise to the challenge and transmute what's being called to transmute, it'll like propel you to another paradigm. Okay, so eclipse energy is very potent for that reason. So glad you began some time of it.
And Cray asked, do you believe in reincarnation? Absolutely, positively. That's more logical than dying and then going to hell or heaven. It's more logical that your energy that is constantly recycling. So energy is never destroyed. So absolutely. Yeah,
me and Dad actually we remember a couple of our past lives. We've discussed it. And actually when I had my vision, my first vision about my past life, and I came in and I told you, Dad, do you remember? And you confirmed that you were also in that life as well, or you remember the part you played in that life, and that was really cool and confirming for me in terms of my vision. Yes,
I remember that because I remember you said you and your mom had gotten some readings or something.
So I had first. And that's actually what opened my mom up to spirituality, was that I told her about my vision, about my past life. And keep in mind, she was like green to all of this, but she was open to listening. And when I told her about it, it resonated with her so much and sparked something in her that it inspired her to go get a past life reading. And not only did she confirm who I was, but she confirmed that she was my daughter in that life. So crazy, amazing, wonderful stuff. So
Yeah.
I don't only believe in reincarnation. I know.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. And that's the thing, is a lot of people think too, you end up changing roles, you know, just depends on the things that you're working out and working through. You can change roles, you can change sexes, you can change races. So so this idea that we have about racism and stuff like that is just so antiquated and so ridiculous, because we've lived as different sexes and races, all of us. So all of us that are probably here and connected right now, we've probably been traveling together in some form of fashion, you know. So it's and it's just a natural thing that we end up gravitating back towards each other, no matter what lifetime we're in, no matter where we are. Somehow we end up connecting back again. It's just a natural thing.
No such thing.
Iconic Man, what's up? All right. Let's see. So Iconic Man says, Vo got a daughter. No.
No, I got puppy children. I got black cats, and that's it. Right, Dad, I got a new cat, by the way. I didn't even tell you about that.
Oh, did you? Oh my gosh.
I know, right? I never had cats before, and now I got two. But yeah, another story.
Yeah.
No kids for
me.
me.
Okay, so self motivation. Let's see. What is the origin of life? I have no idea. How life started on Earth realm? I have no idea. Was there only women first, then men? I have no idea. What was the origin of existence? Nobody knows.
Right.
So you're asking questions that people have been asking for eons. Nobody has those answers. So, and if they tell you they do, they're lying.
It's good that you're asking. Okay, you're the when we ask those far out questions, we might not get the exact answer, but the journey gonna bring you some wisdom anyway. So keep asking those questions.
Absolutely.
Let's
see. Oh, no. That's I was trying to get there. So Rosara says, is there a shift happening? Yeah. So that's man, people waking up all over the world. So yes, there's absolutely a shift happening, but that's something that's constant. I mean, it's like that's like a how can I say? It's just a cycle. So that we're always going through. It's just a natural cycle, you know.
Change is the only guarantee.
Absolutely.
2020, I believe, was a shift on a very large scale, or
absolutely,
so to speak.
Yeah. The 2020, and a lot of people think they look at COVID and stuff like that as something that was negative, and absolutely was negative in terms of people dying. But you got to understand too that they in a sense they chose to be in this cycle, and in another sense they chose to wake people up. It was kind of like a mass protest in a way that made people start to recognize how life was the life that they're living. And we had shifts in education, we had shifts in religion, we had shifts in the economy, we had shifts, just all kinds of huge shifts that changed the way that we live and the way that we even think about life. And that in itself was a huge positive. So all of those things, they made that year made us like catapult into a whole new way of thinking about work, thinking about religion, thinking about all kinds of stuff. What we're gonna do for a living, because now more people are starting to start businesses, and more people are starting to like do their individual things online. So all of that stuff just shifted in 2020. Yeah.
I feel like there's a overall greater value of life and actually living and creating a life that sustains happiness and fulfillment versus just work, accumulate money. We realize that does not equal happiness. And
Right.
now working toward creating a life that supports not only spiritual growth, but growth in all areas of life. For
Yep.
sure.
And living life on our terms, you know,
Mhm.
and instead of going and, you know, looking for a job or whatever and, you know, working your life away, find something that you love to do and do it on your terms, you know, and it ain't necessarily about the money. It's just, hey, you rather live on your terms and work for somebody, you know,
Right.
that's a totally different mindset. Shit.
Right. Hey, April. And I hear
What's
you,
up,
Caleb.
April? So yeah. Let's
Thanks for
see.
sharing
Shauna
that.
A said she's been experiencing pregnancy symptoms. Oh my gosh.
But she said she's never slept with anyone. I thought that was
Oh
crazy.
really? Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Okay.
So
Interesting.
that's
Interesting.
Shauna always comes with some interesting otherworldly experiences.
Yep.
Let's
Yep.
see.
And let's see here. LA says, RKU, on the other day you said the 12 apostles represented the 12 signs. I know Thomas in Arabic is Thuma and Aramaic is Ta'um. I researched and found out that Thomas is Gemini. Yeah, the twin. So Thomas is the twin. So absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay.
So actually Thomas comes from the ancient Kemetic tomb or Atum, which is Atum is masculine and feminine. So a twin, Gemini.
Love that. Love how
So,
she's connecting the dots. I find that astrology is very fun in that way. It connects the dots in a lot of religions or in a lot
yep.
of realms. You can all circle it back to astrology in ways.
Yep, yep. No, and once you start to getting into the etymology, like LA is saying that she was doing, you start to connect in a whole lot of other dots, and then you start. Not only do you start connecting the names, but you started connecting mythology. You started connecting symbolic language, all kinds of stuff. So it's just there's so many layers, and I talk a lot about the esoteric stuff, but so many people only want to talk about it in terms of interpreting an idea one way, but that's not how esoteric language works. There's many layers and it's multidimensional, so all the time. So it's very, very interesting. Very interesting.
Mhm.
So Danny H gave $9.99. Thank you, Danny H. Says
Thank
any
you.
tips on how to handle all the triggers I've been dealing with during this eclipse season? I discovered I'm a runner, and since I had said no more running, I'm going through it. When you saying running, do you mean actually like going out and running, or running from relationships? I'm messing with you.
So the way that I deal with triggers, because I can only speak from, well, I prefer to speak from experience, but the way that I deal with triggers is awareness. So once it comes up and I feel it, I feel that charge. It's like, ooh, okay, I see that. All right, what's the root of it? How can I transmute it? Okay, I say this no longer serves me. I transmute it and then replace it with what you want it to be. Okay, or what you want the pattern to be moving forward. It's how I deal with triggers.
Yeah, with me, it just depends on the situation. Sometimes it's really more about when you get triggered, you have to release the energy in some kind of way or acknowledge the energy, then find a way to release it. So, you know, and sometimes it might be just cussing out loud. I mean, there's different things that you can do to release that energy, you know, but definitely acknowledge it and move through it, you know, and you just got to find a way to do that. You know. So very cool, very cool. So Roberto Rodriguez says, I left Christianity 2 years ago, brother. I feel so good. I was a pastor. I found nothing good. I'm more spiritual now with Kemetic teachings. Man, this is great. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Good for you,
And,
Roberto.
yeah, definitely, definitely. And I want to say too about just this idea of Kemetic teachings, because I don't want people to feel like they're leaving one religion and going to another. Kemetic for me is a framework that you can develop your spirituality within, but do not get to a point to where you think that you have to fit yourself into this box of what's called Kemetic. And I don't do that, because that's not what this system is about. Okay. The reason why I like the Kemetic system is because it actually will unravel a lot of the teachings that Christianity has. That's why I'm really passionate about it, because it answers those questions, and you can go back and know and find out what the original teachings were before Christianity taught it or changed it. Okay. But do not fit yourself into a box just like you did in religion. So just a warning, just saying, hey, take these ideas, use them, but don't get to where you're thinking like, okay, I have to do it this way or that way. No, all it is a framework to give you an idea of what to do and where to go. Okay. So most definitely. So thank you, Roberto, definitely appreciate that.
Yeah.
Let's see. Thomas Ramirez says, Reg, in your studies, does the Kemetic netters called Thoth and Khnum are relevant netters? Yeah, all of them are relevant, because all netters are, Thomas, they're just functions of nature. They're personified functions of nature. Thoth is the personified human mind. Okay, our human mind. That's what it is. Khnum is he shapes our ego and our ka. Okay, so the ego is focused into physical reality, and the ka is what creates our physical aspect. So they're all relevant. They're not like just extraneous stuff, and where you just like looking at them in a way that they're how can I say, like they're just people or whatever. They are functions of nature. That's the best way I can explain any type of netter, Kemetic netter. And you have to figure out what the function is. Okay. When you figure out what the function of the netter is, that's when you can connect the dots to Christianity and what the characters are in Christianity. That's how I can connect Horus and Jesus, because they're both the same function. You just got to know what the function is. Okay.
I think this is a great follow-up question to that.
Says, why do you debunk the Bible and use it as a source material simultaneously if it's only a tool created for our oppression? I never said it was a tool created for our oppression. So the thing is when we're talking about people that are coming out of Christianity, I don't think that you're ever going to help people come out of Christianity unless you can explain to them what the stuff is in the Bible in the first place. So I don't debunk the Bible. I debunk its literalism. Okay. So we were taught about the Bible as literal history. It's not. But as a source for confirming metaphysical and mythological concepts, it can be used for that when you understand it esoterically. Okay. So the Bible itself was not created for our oppression. Okay. So the Bible was not created to oppress Black people. It was way before racism ever began. And a lot of times what we end up doing is we try to fit what's happening in society today to everything that's happened in the past. And that's just not the case. Racism is very, very young in a sense, only since the transatlantic slave trade. That's when racism started. So everything that was created back before then was not created for racism. Okay. Everybody back then weren't racist. Like the system of white supremacy and racism did not begin until the transatlantic slave trade in order to justify it. Okay. So I hope that answers your question. So good question. Good question.
Yes. And happy belated birthday to our moderator, the Dark Goddess. Love you. Sending lots of love. Hope you enjoyed your day.
All right. Dark Goddess, that's Scorpio energy too.
Yeah, our Scorpio sister.
Yeah.
Let's see. Ruben, I saw your question. But to be honest, I haven't really read into it enough to give an opinion, other than the fact that I appreciate anyone who stands up for what they believe in. If they feel like there is unjust and they're willing to go against the crowd to be heard, I respect that a lot. So that's
yeah, and the same here. I just don't. It's just stuff for me. it's noise, and I really don't get into it and ruminate about it and stuff like that. It's just, for me, it's just noise. Now for other people, I know if it's a focus, great, but I just don't get into it because it's just, I don't know. I just don't get into it. That's all I can say. Let's see.
Do you believe in polygamy or marriage? I believe in whatever floats your boat, you should do it.
Yep, absolutely. So for me, I don't believe for marriage is simply a man-made institution. Okay. And I really think that marriage has been used in a lot of sense. The idea of marriage has been used to degrade women and make women have to, how can I say, adhere to a certain standard or certain standards. I saw there's this one group I'm in, and somebody asked the question, men, what do you believe is too high of a body count, meaning sexual partners for a woman? And my thought is if a woman even has to ask, and there's a woman that asked that question, and I'm like, if a woman is worried about, her body count or something like that, she's got bigger problems, because she's trying to fit her idea of what her sexuality should be into the idea of somebody that is sexist, ultimately, and a sexist way of thinking. So polygamy, to me, polygamy and marriage are not the opposites. Okay. Personally, one woman is enough for me. I wouldn't be able to handle 3, 4, 5 of them, man. I'd be going around like,
no.
All I need is one, but we don't have to be married. So the lady that I'm with now, we don't plan on getting married, but we plan on being together.
Right.
So it's not, for us, it's marriage and having a license and being sanctioned by the state. It's not necessary. We've both been there before. Right.
I was almost married, and that was enough for me to know, I don't think I want to go that route. But just like my dad was saying, like me and my partner, the marriage does not determine our level of commitment to each other.
Nope.
I ain't got to pay nobody or, ask nobody permission to validate my relationship. It's like, nah. Commitment
Absolutely.
is not defined to me by paper.
And a lot of times, I think that women have been like taught to date in a sense of it's supposed to lead to a marriage because the marriage is the validation of her for to the man. And again, I just don't see that. Now, understand, I'm not against marriage. If that works for somebody, great. But I'm just saying, a lot of times it's been a negative, something that's been negative for women. That they have to think in terms of trying to be wifey material. And again, it's by standards that men have dictated. And when you talk about the Abrahamic religions, man, they have been like, they've dogged women out over the years, so over the centuries, and a lot of their standards.
From my perspective, marriage traditionally was like an economic or a business agreement, or it's like, we're getting married for the sake of empowering our families, or there's just a lot that ties into marriage that doesn't necessarily support today's relationship or the type of relationships we're trying to foster today, where the individualism of both people are supported, respected, and just overall fostering the growth. I don't feel like marriage does that. It doesn't do it for me personally.
Yeah, not in the context of the way we think about it, because even within religion, marriage is thought of in a sense that a woman is supposed to be submissive to the man. And my idea is why is one human being supposed to be submissive to another? And they're using the Bible to justify that crap, and it's like, no, it's another human being shouldn't be submissive to another human being. There should be a partnership.
We're equal parts of a whole, for sure.
Equal parts of a whole, absolutely.
Whole, individually whole and together whole, yeah.
Collectively whole, absolutely.
There we go, collectively.
All right. Cannabis Maximus gave $50. Thank you, Cannabis Maximus. Says prime time. Says I'm powerful, passionate, and manifesting magnet. A manifesting magnet. I'm unstoppable. I manifest limitless magic and abundance into my life.
My life.
Speak it, Cannabis Maximus.
Yes.
Speak
yes.
it.
Yes. I love it.
Absolutely.
Love that. I got chills. Shoot. I said that. I said that real strong in my mind.
I know that's right.
Oh, this is a good question, Dad.
What is the root of fear? I don't think you can say that there's one thing that's the root of fear. You know, there's because their fears can be represented by many different things. So, but just far as what is the root of it or what causes it, I don't think you can boil it down to one simplistic cause.
I want to try. I think fear is illusion. So, or fear is distortion. Fear is the opposite of love. God is love. All is love. So the root of fear is the illusion that love is not present in whatever it is that you're fearful of, in my opinion.
Okay. I can roll with that. Yeah. All right. Good question. All right. Let's see.
Question for the lovely lady. Well, thank you. Are we in the age of Aquarius? Yes, we are in the beginning phases of the age of Aquarius. That's why we're discussing traditional topics like marriage and relating and social constructs and systems that no longer serve us or working for us.
Yep.
Or, example, religion. Okay, so Aquarius is the sign or the archetype that deals with creating chaos or shaking something up with the intent to build a new order that advances and moves humanity forward. Okay, Aquarius is the humanitarian. That's why it's more people speaking up. That's why more people are being willing to step outside of the box of what is considered normal, creating our new normal. Aquarius is all about the individual. You know, what are your individual unique talents and gifts, and how can you bring them to the world to help advance humanity? Okay, so yes, we are in the age of Aquarius, and what a time to be alive. Okay,
that's a big shift too. Big shift. So absolutely, great question. So Rosiris gave $4.99. Thank you, Rosiris. Definitely appreciate it.
Thank you.
Definitely appreciate you. LA got some good question here. Says, are dreams other realities? Yes, you're tapping into other realities and other dimensions of experience. And that's what a lot of people don't realize, that they can experience what death is like right now. And you experience that when you're asleep and you're in your dream world. That environment is just like it will be when you first start to transition, because you'll still be with dreams. Usually the dreams that you remember, the level of consciousness that you're interpreting it from is your physical consciousness, okay, and your physical waking state, and you're translating your travels back into that, okay. And that's why sometimes dreams can be so cryptic or seem so cryptic. But this is the other thing, is what people don't realize is, once you start learning the esoteric idea, the esoteric language of symbolism, it also connect your dream. It'll connect your dream life and your waking life. Okay. And it'll connect things symbolically. But yes, dreams are definitely, you definitely tap into other realities, and you go to other dimensions during your dreams. It's very powerful. The ancient Egyptians called that the duat. And Osiris is the netter within the duat, which is the aspect of the soul that is within each of us. Okay. So absolutely. Great question. Let's see. Melissa says, I'll be using that one. You'll be using that one what, Melissa? So what's happening? All right. I'm looking. Let's see. Let's see. Okay, this is a good question here. Says, can you discuss how to mourn the death of a loved one? Okay, you want to go on that one first, Voche?
Yes, I will say remember them through a lens of celebration, through expressing gratitude for the memories that you had with them, as well as the impact that you have on their life. You are empowering them even in the spirit and in the physical, and you are keeping them alive in a sense. So to be sad that they're gone, or not in the physical anymore, is in a sense selfish, okay? Because they've, from the perspective of spirit, they've come here, they've done what they needed to do, and their term is up. All right, their time in Earth School is up. So be proud of them for completing the journey. Be grateful, and uplift them, or uplift their memory through remembering once again how they positively impacted your life, because that was a life well lived. Okay, so that's how I would mourn the death of my loved one, as well as remembering that just because they're not physical anymore, I can still communicate with them. Every time I think of them,
I was gonna say that.
their memory strongly, know that they are present with you. That's like you sending them a phone call. Okay, so use this opportunity to strengthen your connection with spirit. Okay, with having this loved one who's passed on.
Yeah. And I would say for me, it wouldn't be a time of mourning for me because of what I understand about death.
Right.
We think of it as death. So in the ancient African traditions, before in ancient Kemet, they had no term for death. It was called westing. And the idea is that you simply, the sun set in the west, but it will at some point come back around and rise in the east. Okay. So your loved one has transitioned from physicality to non-physicality. Okay. But they are still conscious and they're still alive. Okay. All right. So we think of life as the physical body. The ancient Africans thought of life as consciousness. Anything that is conscious is alive. That loved one has transitioned. Now, this is the crazy thing that I just want to give some context for. As Christians, we feel like Jesus lived 2,000 years ago. Okay, let's move out of the way whether Jesus was historical or not. Don't care at this point. Okay, but we believe that we can communicate with Jesus 2,000 years ago, from 2,000 years ago, and we cannot communicate with our own loved ones that died yesterday or last week. Okay, put that into context. Why can we communicate with Jesus, but we can't communicate with our loved ones? The truth is, we can communicate with our loved ones. So definitely listen. So G-Dub, you can listen and get confirmation and information from your loved ones that have passed. Okay, so they can still communicate with you. So I would say, as Voche said, I wouldn't mourn, I celebrate them. And I've told Voche, when I leave this earth, I said, do not have a funeral.
Yeah, same.
Have a party.
A party, yes. I want bright colors. Right. I want everybody turned. Just know I'm there. Okay, I'm there.
You know? So don't mourn me because I have lived a full life. Everything that I have tried to do, I've done. I have fun. I'm enjoying my life right now. I couldn't ask for anything better. So
you are loved. You are surrounded by love.
Oh man. So
that's
I'm getting chills.
For me. Yeah.
Yeah. So do not mourn me, celebrate me. You know? So that's the way I would look at that.
Yes.
All right.
Sound Off the General says, what does the different ages mean? So from my perspective, the different ages represent different aspects of experience. So the Piscean age was about, religion and experiences that align with that. Okay. Now the Aquarian age is coming out of that, awakening, individualism, raising consciousness. So it's a whole different kind of experience. So if you chose to incarnate in this time, in this age, this is what your soul wanted to experience. This is the experience that would lead to soul's growth. in advancement, because all ages exist right now. Like all of it is going on right now, but you chose to be here because this is where the lessons are for you in this incarnation.
Absolutely, absolutely. So it's and the different ages are simply different. You can look at them as different energetic patterns.
Yeah.
So that's one way you can look at them. So the age of Aquarius has a specific energetic pattern, and from a planetary or galactic idea, our galaxy and our solar system and our galaxies moves, okay, and it cycles through different energetic patterns. So the patterns that we are cycling through now within the Aquarian age are a dense positive energy, okay. So and those patterns are marked by the ages. Okay, so every 2,500 years is one solar age, or what is it called? It's not a solar age. What is it called?
I can't remember.
Years.
I can't remember, but I know that the last one ended in 2012. That was when they thought it was the end of the world, but it was just the Aquarian age is coming in. But I can't remember the term that you're thinking of.
But the ancient Egyptians, they were very much aware of these shifts, and they would literally move their capitals based on the age that they were in. So even in the Bible, there are different markers for the age. Like the Tarian age was when Aaron came down and supposedly throw the books of the Ten Commandments on the bull and destroyed that bull. The Christ was supposedly, Jesus was the start of the Piscean age, and you'll see Christianity. One of the symbols of Christianity is the fish, but every 2,500 years is a new age. 26,000 years is the Great Age, one full revolution. Okay, so some very, very interesting stuff when you get into that. Definitely very interesting. See, Sherry Littleton says, I'm married to the same person for 41 years. And if I knew what I know now, I would have stayed single with the same person. Marriage is not a law. It's something you must do as a Christian to have sex. You hit that on the head right there. That's the truth. That's the truth. So many people simply get married just because they want to have sex and not be out of law.
They don't want to go to hell. Yeah.
Yeah. You know, but live in hell in that marriage.
Right.
Know? I mean, man, come on now. But yeah, very, very true. Very true. Very wise, Sherry. Very wise. So most definitely. All right. That's a good question. So John 4 says, how did God become a he when it started out as she? Yeah, and understand that the ancients symbolize these ideas as, how can I say, they symbolize these ideas to give you an understanding of what a certain function was. Okay, so when they're talking about the beginning, the supposed beginning of the universe, it was birth out of darkness. Well, the woman's womb is dark on the inside. Okay, the baby's in a womb and the inside in the dark. That's what it was symbolized as a feminine, as a how can I say it? It was a metaphor, okay? But the idea that there are active principles or active functions of the universe, a lot of times that's what the ancients were when they talked about a male god, okay? They were actually talking about an active function, okay, of the universe. But if you don't know the esoteric language or the symbolism behind it, then yeah, you get kind of off track and you think God, you start worshiping a man and all that kind of stuff, you know. So God is not human. So first off, God is not human. All right. Let's
Danny
see.
says, what are some good grounding techniques? I love grounding. Taking a nap in the grass. I did that the other day. I just took my picnic blanket out and me and my dog laid in this big field of grass And you just imagine that you have roots. Okay. You imagine that your roots go into the core of the earth. Our root chakra, so we have chakras that protrude out and back, and then our crown chakra goes up and our root chakra goes down. Okay. And so you envision your red root chakra going all the way into the earth, and your roots spidering out into the earth and just wrapping it up, wrapping the earth up in your roots. Okay. That's how I envision grounding and connecting to the earth. And I envision like these spurts of white light and energy coming up from the second dimension and giving me healing energy.
All right, all right, all right. Melissa says she was talking about using that affirmation earlier. So I asked her what was she saying she was going to use. So that affirmation the Cannabis Maximus did.
Yes,
So
yes.
yeah. So cool. Very cool. All right. Just moving on along. Here we go. David Brown gave 1999. Appreciate you, David Brown. Appreciate you.
It.
Then he
And
says that AK lied too long. I love those names, man. They could be creative.
Right, and we get creative.
Oh, David Brown been lied too long. I love that. Let's see.
Gloria Davis, this is a good question. She says, how do you celebrate someone who was abusive? You thank them for the lessons that they taught you and how they aided your growth. We always think people are, and oftentimes the people who are contracted to give us the hardest lessons often love us the most in the spirit world. But that's always something that's hard for people to stomach. So be grateful.
Yeah, and understand when I'm saying celebrate, I'm not saying if somebody was abusive to you, of course, you're not going to celebrate them. So this is where I hate to get like into where you say something and then somebody takes it just completely literal and like that's the only interpretation that you can have of it. So that's don't take something that I say and then try to apply it to every single situation. You have to use your common sense and just basically if somebody was abusive, you're not going to celebrate somebody that was abusive. You celebrate getting out of the relationship, obviously. But just come on now, help me out.
So be grateful for the lessons that you learned, and send them on about their way, because I guarantee you they have a different perspective from where they are now.
All right. And Rachel says, how long have you been studying religion, and did you feel betrayed when you learned the truth? So personally for me, it's something that I've been studying since back in my college days, back in the 80s, and just something that I've studied comparatively. But absolutely, you feel betrayed. I mean, that's just natural that you feel betrayed because you feel like you've been lied to. And a lot of times it's not that our parents and grandparents were lying. They just didn't know any different. Okay. They didn't have the internet. They didn't have all the information that we have at our fingertips, and it's still amazing to me that people will still blindly follow religion with all the information that they have at their fingertips. It's amazing to me. But yeah, betrayal is one of the main emotions that a lot of us feel, and we end up turning it into anger. And then we end up pointing it at the people that we love who are still Christian, and we end up being, angry at them and wanting to battle with them and stuff like that. But you don't win. So nobody wins.
I'm sorry, I was laughing at LA's comment. She said, RK and Vo, y'all too woke for me. When I die, I want everybody that I know to cry for me for years. Boo-hoo tears. And my man better cry for the rest of his life until he joins me.
So he better not even get married.
Right. She said she gonna come back and hunt.
He better not move on. Hey, when LA gone, he gonna be like, oh Lord, I just want to find another one like
right.
that. Oh.
And she gonna be up there like, you damn right. You better stay single.
Oh, hey, I ain't mad at you, LA. I ain't mad at you.
She said, y'all better miss me.
Oh, for real. But hey, LA, I miss you at the party. All right, G-Dub gave gave $20. Thank you, G-Dub. Appreciate
Thanks,
that.
G-Dub.
Appreciate that. All right, that's funny. LA said, more on me, damn it.
Yeah, y'all better miss me.
Cry, get some crocodile tears. Cried hard.
You want them
All
falling
right.
on her casket. She want one of them
Right.
funerals.
Oh, no.
They took her too soon.
Right. Too soon. Oh, man. Too funny. Too funny. All right. Let's see. Where are we at? Let's see.
Thus far.
All right. Ruben gave $50. Thank you, Ruben. Definitely appreciate you, brother.
Thanks, Ruben.
Definitely appreciate you. Always generous.
Love
Always
you so
generous.
much, Ruben.
Yeah. Definitely appreciate it. All right. So okay, well, I guess nobody else got any other questions tonight. So this is gonna be early night. Is that what it is? Is that what it is? So yeah. But at any rate, guys, well, I guess if so y'all got some other questions we can ask, we can answer, and we can keep it flowing.
Next week it's gonna be just me. So make sure y'all.
No, not just you. Next week is gonna be you.
Thanks, Dad. You're right. It's gonna be me.
Right. You're gonna be there.
Yeah.
Let's see.
What's
Black
the cash?
Force says, what's the connection between superstition and Kemetic spirituality? I have no idea. I don't even don't understand the context of the question. So yeah. I have no idea.
His Cash App is, let's see, Kuakaru.
Kuakaru at 1. Oh, Kuakaru 1. Yeah. All right. Let's see. All right. Nikki P says, in religion, babies are christened or blessed. In Kemetic spirituality, what do they do? Nothing. So you can't fit Christianity into Kemetic spirituality. That's what a lot of people end up trying to do, is they try to find this. They think that there's a Kemetic equivalent. I don't know if they christened or not. It's not something that I've studied that I know of, Nikki. So the thing is, everything that you did in Christianity wasn't necessarily Kemetic before. So a lot of the doctrines Christianity did twist, but you can't try to fit Kemetic spirituality over your old Christian beliefs. Okay, so there's something different. Now the ancient Africans, if you ever watch Roots, the way that they held the baby up to the stars, that was something that was real. That was true that they did. I don't know if y'all ever seen old Roots where he went and held Kizzy up to the stars and says, "Behold, the only one greater than yourself." You know, that was something that the Africans did. You know,
so that's where they got that from in Lion King.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
So same stuff. Let's see.
Iconic Man says, I'm having a dream about a Pisces that passed away and a boat. What does that mean? So that means the person is visiting you, and boats can mean transition from one place to another. I know in tarot, the Six of Swords represents transitioning away from something, and it's a boat in it. That's why I reference it. But transitioning away from something that you finished or a cycle you've completed, and moving on to something greater.
All right. Excellent. Let's see.
Why do some people that are married get along better after they divorce? How does that fit into their life lessons? I didn't see that, Dad. After my parents divorced, that was not my experience.
No, I can't say that's my experience.
20 years later, they can be in the same room together, but
Barely.
Yeah, I look at them. I'm like, I don't need. Y'all must have just got together to bring me and my brother into this world because I don't even
Pretty
see
much.
how.
Pretty much.
Like, for real.
Because otherwise, we like two totally different. Like
seriously, it's crazy how opposite. And they're like oil and water in my bitch. I'm like, how did that even work? But yeah. Anyway.
Hey, hormones is something else.
I guess so. Look,
I
I appreciate y'all. Else I wouldn't be here. But yeah, I was not one of them kids that wanted my parents to stay together. Look, just do whatever y'all gotta do.
Y'all just hey, and you know what? It was a funny thing too. I remember when Voy-Shay was probably 2 years old. I remember me and her mom. We had gotten into an argument, and we tried not to argue around the kids. Now this young lady was 2 years old, and she saw that we were like sitting up mad at each other. We were like in the same room. Well, I'm on one side of the room, she's on one side of the room. My ex-wife. Voche looks at me, then looks at her mom, and then looks at me, and then goes, "Talk." She was like, at 2 years old, she could barely talk herself, but she knew she was like admonishing us, like, y'all need to talk.
Look, I could cut that tension in the room with a butter knife. I felt it.
And we cracked up laughing when she did that too. Boy, that was so funny. But yeah, she was counseling people then.
Look, I'm true to this, not new to this.
Right. Oh man. So yeah. Well, all right. Well, guys, it is already looks like we're winding down there, but it has been an amazing night. We are Voche is going to be here next week and the week after. So I'm going to be traveling. I'm going to be hopping down the west coast of Mexico and Central America, cruising. So going on 2 weeks. So I'm excited and ready to roll. And I'm gonna be living it up.
Yeah.
So
excited
but guys,
for you. Excited for next week. I'll be having some interesting discussions. I'm gonna channel and see what spirit wants me to bring to the table and talk to you guys about this time. Of course, always metaphysics, astrology, numerology, tarot, having a good time. So I'll be looking forward to seeing you guys next week.
All right. Guys, y'all have an amazing night, and we'll see y'all next week. Or Voche will see y'all next week.
I will see you guys next week.
All right.
Bye, guys. Bye-bye. Good night.